This is part 3 of building studwork walls, so now we're going to try and cover the joints up and to get them skimmed. The first step is to get some tape to strengthen the joints so that the plaster doesn't crack. I'm using this mesh stuff, which I really don't like using. I find it far harder to cover up the seams. If I show you one, I don't know whether you can see that, but you land up with the mesh coming through and it takes a lot more covering up. So a paper tape is my preference. I've not got any and needs must, so we're going to use up the mesh. So I'm just going to pull this down the joint and some more one-handed magic. Get that stuck to the wall. In fact, that is the advantage of using a mesh tape. It's self-adhesive, so a paper tape you would have to put on some jointing compound and then with a knife put the paper in. But at least with the mesh it sticks to the wall itself, so you can just glue it on and then skim straight over the top and put your first coat on. So it does have that advantage at least. We need to think about what we're going to use to skim the wall. I've used a few different products, but this one, Gyprop Pro-Mix Light, is a sort of multi-purpose mix. I've used different manufacturers' stuff. I've used stuff to mix yourself, but this is really superior to that, so I'd recommend giving this one a shot. The tools you'll need is plastering hawk. This is my tool of preference, a plasterer's trowel. Some people use a knife tool. I don't get on very well with this. I mean, obviously a lot of people do. Maybe I'm just cat-handed, but this is my preference. So now we need to load up the hawk. So get your trowel into the tub, load it up, and then just work the bubbles out a little bit. Just give it a bit of a mix. Next step is to get it on the wall. A little bit rusty at this. Give it a swipe. And now we need to let that dry and then give it another coat. Don't forget to fill your screw heads in. I just use the back of my trowel for this, and a flexible scraper. So get some of the screw heads quite quick. Just try not to leave any hard bits. And that's that bit done. Talk you through taping. This is using a paper tape, which is my preference. So you'd get your filler onto the wall with a knife like this, just pretty rough, just get some on the wall. You want to be soaking your paper in just water, and then place by hand onto the bit that you've filled. Just get it down the wall, and then take your flexible palette knife and just squeeze the excess out of the tape. Then you let it dry, and now we can put a second coat on. You do need a builder's dog, so we're going to load up our trowel. First of all, this paper, just take a scraper, take any high bits off. Don't really need to sand it at that stage. Load the trowel up, get a bit on there, up, just get a nice consistency, and then get some on the wall. Just get it on pretty quickly, pretty roughly, and then we'll skim over it a bit. I'm just going to try and do this quick before my batteries run out. So now I'm just going to drag the trowel down the wall. Carry on down the wall. And so when this dries, we'll do the same again, just take the high spots off, and then we'll go a bit wider with the next coat. And that should see you with a decent wall. You might need a third coat and a bit of sanding, but that's the principle. One of the harder parts to do is where the ceiling meets the wall, and you really do need the paper joint strengthener in there. You'll see there'll be a groove in the centre of the paper so you can fold it. So then take a palette knife and apply some plaster to the bottom, apply it to the ceiling, and then let it dry after you've got the joint tape on. I've got a trowel like this which is invaluable for these types of things. Once you've got the paper on, then you can just get the excess out with this trowel. Then once it's dried, you basically load both edges of the trowel with plaster, and so your second coat you're going to swipe it on like that. I don't think I can probably demonstrate that with one hand, but that's the principle of it. Outside corners seem to be easier. You can get a trowel to do those as well, but I've just stuck with my conventional trowel and worked one edge, then worked the other, and that seems to work okay. Hope you found that useful. See you soon. Check out my blog, swalsteading.blogspot.co.uk. Cheers.